Number 4, today we're going to be talking about motivation and discipline. What are the differences between these two key aspects? Because a lot of you guys mess this up and you don't know the difference. And we got to clarify a couple things here. So we're first going to start with discipline, right? What is discipline? Discipline is, simply put, systems you put into place that you do regardless how you feel, okay? So it can be anything that you plan out and you do consistently regardless of how you feel and what others say. So that's why discipline is systems, things that you create, actions that lead to results consistently, and then removing feelings, okay? Because sometimes you feel tired, but you still have to do the thing you need to do, okay? So you brush your teeth every morning, not because you want to, but because you do it regardless, because it's just in your system. That's your wake up morning routine. You brush your teeth, you wash your face, and you go grab breakfast, okay? So, or the other way around. So removing feelings is essential to be consistent while being disciplined, all right? So remember that. The third thing is purpose, right? You can't stay disciplined to something if you don't have a higher calling towards it, okay? Unless you're doing something that you really know you have to do it no matter what. Most of the time, you need a higher calling or a big purpose to consistently stay disciplined. So if your goal is to reach a certain amount of money, your goal is to reach a certain physique, your goal is to reach a certain amount of talking to a certain amount of women, that is your purpose. And your discipline has to be rooted in that purpose, okay? Now, what is discipline not? Discipline is not 2 a.m. TikTok edits. They're not 2 a.m. Instagram reels or 3 a.m. sudden burst of motivation because your friend is texting you, okay? That's not what that is. That's motivation, right? That's temporary motivation. And discipline is also not inconsistent, right? You have to be consistent. In discipline, that's why you need systems. Systems allow you to run on autopilot on the things you need to do, because if you don't have those systems, you're going to stay inconsistent and then you're no longer going to be disciplined, okay? So you need to stay consistent, build some sort of system that's rooted in your purpose that also removes feelings, okay? That's how you identify what discipline is. Now let's move to motivation, okay? Motivation is temporary bursts of strong emotions that can come from a big life event or a traumatic event that force you to change, to take action, right? Some of your close friends, something bad happens, you break up with your girl, you do something bad, some big happens, you have an injury, those are emotions that steer your way to motivation. Motivation is initially way stronger than discipline at the start because it's driven by emotions, right? Discipline is not driven by emotions, okay? Motivation is, okay? Next, encouragement. Motivation is also encouragement from other people. This can happen when you're doing a good thing in life, or you're in a good place in life or in a bad place in life. So encouragement comes, but it's not consistent. So you cannot rely on it for discipline, but it's only motivation, okay? Next, rewards. When you do something good, you make a certain amount of money, or you get with a certain girl, or you go and you hit a PR in the gym, you get rewarded, okay, with dopamine, whatever, but that is temporary. So that is a motivation. So remember, I wrote here short term. That's what it is. The rewards are always short term with motivation, and the long-term purpose is driven by discipline right here. See? Rewards and purpose, they're separate. Motivation is not a consistent fuel, okay? Unlike discipline, where it's consistent, emotionless, and straight to the point, okay? And it's not lying to others without achieving anything. A lot of you guys love to talk about the things you're gonna do. You love to talk to your friends about how you're gonna own a Lamborghini. You love to talk to your friends about how you're gonna get in shape. You love to talk to your friends about how you're gonna pick up these girls, okay? That's not what we do. That's not what we do. That's not even motivation. It's mental masturbation. That's what I call it, right? That is something where you just fuel your own internal ego, but with no action behind it. It's okay if you say these things and they actually come true, but 99% of you guys say this shit and it doesn't come true. So you guys need to understand that this is not even motivation. It's completely separate. So don't even do that, okay? So hope you guys understood the basic difference between these two words, because a lot of you guys get it mixed up. The most important thing I have to say to you guys, if you want to become a jack genius, you want to be smart, you want to be social, you want to be strong, you got to understand that you got to remove feelings from the things that, you have to do consistently, like working out, like going to talk to people and being social and actually working hard. And you have to find some sort of purpose, some sort of bigger goal, right? That's what's going to eventually make you disciplined. Do not rely on emotions to get you disciplined. Do not rely on rewards or encouragement. These are good extras when they come, but most of the time, the systems are what's going to get you there. Removing the feelings is what's going to get you there, and then having your purpose, all right?